Been playing with this recently. YongNuo YN622 flash trigger. Bad. Bad. When I say bad, I mean bad meaning good. Set yourself free from your flash. You know, you start off with one of these, right? As a photographer, that goes on top. But it limits you because, you know, in fact, the top of the camera is probably the worst place to have this. People generally, I see photographers out with their flash, it's pointed straight into the eyes of the target. And I know when you're doing journalism, that's okay, that's cool. News photography, that's okay. Any other type of photography, that's not okay, okay? So what you can do is bounce the light off the ceiling or spin this around, bounce the light off the walls, if I can get it the right way around, you know, behind you, so that the light reflects off the wall onto your subject and you get a more pleasing light, yeah? What you can also do is get flash modifiers. This is a flash modifier on the top, diffuser, but you can get other, you know, like benders and all kinds of fancy things that you put on top of your flash to make the light more smooth. However, this YongNuo YN622C, I have the Canon version, flash trigger, frees you up, frees your mind, frees your camera from that link. Now, what I do is I set up a couple of these flashes on, you know, on stands. Put one over maybe that wall. Put one over on that side. A couple of these on top of my bodies. I usually use 2 bodies, so I'll have one on each. And with this, you can control the amount of light, the amount of power that goes to each flash. So you're effectively bringing your own atmospheric with you to the shoot. It's brilliant, you know. From here I can control the power going to A or going to B. You have 3 groups, A group, B group, and C. You have TTL mode, which is where the camera decides how much light, how much energy to push to each flash, or you can use manual, which is what I use, because I find if you put this in TTL, it will just it will use the most power that it needs to use, and therefore your recycling time on your flashes will be longer and the battery will dead really quickly. So I tend to put it on manual and tell it how much power I want. You also have a mode switch here where you can, if you hold it down, you can go into ratios, so you can have 2:1 or 3:1 or whatever ratio at the touch of a button on top of the camera. It's brilliant, brilliant. This is the modern way of shooting. Wireless triggers. Bring your light with you. Light is very important to the composition. It's extremely important. It is crucial to the composition of the image. So I'm not sure why more photographers don't carry their light with you. There's a lot of people who still go around and do the natural light thing, which is cool. But when you're shooting events, a lot of the time it's in these really dim environments, these really dim halls, and it's just not worth it. You know, the images that you get could be so much better. You know, it makes me kind of laugh when I go to events and these dark halls and there's photographer there with his trying to open up the aperture, and I'll turn up with my triggers and I see them watching. Where's this guy going? with all this stuff. Position my lights, my flashes. And I'm getting a total different image from the same event than the next guy. And that's what you got to think about. Invest in a couple of triggers, man. YongNuo YN622. Very good. There's other ones, but this one is just so easy to use. 7 channels, 3 groups. You can adjust the high-speed sync, second curtain. Yeah, you can adjust the width, the beam width. 24mm. You can have a wide flash, or you can narrow it down. 70mm. All at the touch of a button. It's brilliant. You can turn A flash off and have just B flash fire. You can have B flash off and A flash fire. You can have A, B and C fire at the touch of a button. You know, the ultimate in control, flash control. Brilliant. I know they do one for Nikon as well. Not so sure about Sony, but man, it's the way forwards. Definitely, definitely. Check out one of these. Do. Brilliant.